Well, Gary, it's finished Hyde United 5, Whitby Town 2. A bit of a strange game because in an attacking sense there were quite a few positives out there, but defensively an absolute disaster class out there.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Strange game, a heavy scoreline, obviously on the negative side, which is not ideal. But yeah, exactly how you just put it. We created some good chances. Probably the first 20-25 minutes has killed the game off. To concede the goals we have, not just the first two, but probably all the goals. You can even look at the penalty and look how that's come about. Not a defensive masterclass today in any part. So no, really disappointing day. Disappointing thing is we've dragged ourselves back into the game twice today, and then conceded, more or less straight after. And you're on a hide into nothing in that situation. We created some good chances even when we were 2-0 down and 3-1 down and 4-2 down or whatever it was. So some good chances we created, some good chances missed, which is a slight positive. But ultimately we've lost the game. And there's a bit of a reality check. I think we've had a half decent start over the first couple of games, and the last couple of games have probably brought a little bit of perspective back to it, and certainly a back to basics type situation going into Monday, where as early as it is, it's an important game. We're on the back of 2 defeats now, which we need to put right, and the sooner we can do that, the better.
Yeah, and in every match you can always pick fault with goals, but it did feel today particularly that all 5 goals out there were probably really avoidable in the first instance anyway.
Yeah, you can do that with every goal, can you? And they've all come from individual errors. Whether it's people not getting tight, whether it's people taking time on ball, whether it be through people not backing each other up, not running hard enough. And then on the other side of it, we weren't too great with the ball. Obviously, we had patches of the game where we were all right in and around the box and scored a couple of decent goals from it. But no, we just didn't seem to get going today until the last 10 minutes of the first half, and then a little bit into the second half. But we've conceded 5 today, and it probably could have been 6 or 7 as well.
Yeah, and I think as well, in addition to the man of the goals, also the timings as well were pretty crucial. Obviously, Whitby getting themselves back into it, like you referenced there, and just before half time, really in the ascendancy there, but then conceded right on the stroke of that 45th minute. It's just, like you said, they just really killed it off. Yeah,
it was a sucker punch. Obviously, you've done yourself well to get back into the game at 2-0 down, and got a decent chance before that, or a couple of decent chances with Harrow, and then timings, got us a goal back. But you're hoping then to either, if you can nick another goal for half time, or whether you can go in at half time with it all to play for in a second. But no, the third goal sort of killed us again there. But we rallied around a little bit, tried to get them going in at half time. And just the next goal was always really crucial, and unfortunately it was a silly penalty we gave away. Pretty basic play on their part, but not dealt with on our part, and it's led to a penalty, and Redders has stuck it away, which has given them a real foothold in the game.
Yeah, but then after that as well, getting it back to 4-2, and yet again another spell of pressure from Whitby, and then it just seemed to be like that old Achilles heel of the 5th goal coming in again at a really bad time, which once again Whitby just sort of giving themselves that mountain to climb from there.
Yeah, it's tough. Obviously, I've played today, and I've seen from myself what it was like from a player's perspective. So no, there's plenty to improve on it. That's clear and obvious. I felt like the gaps were a little bit too big from front to back today, especially on any turnover of ball. It felt like any time balls were dropping in there, the Hyde lads were the ones picking them up, and we just didn't deal with certain aspects of Hyde's game today. It's a pretty basic play from them. A lot of stuff that we wanted to do to Hyde today that they done to us, and that they did it a lot better than us.
Yeah, and the blessing, I suppose, this weekend is that you've got that quick turnaround, and that game coming up on Monday at home to Hebburn. Do you view it as a positive, or is it a bit of a challenge as well? Because obviously you've had a really tough afternoon, and you hope that nothing's lingering going into that game.
I think it's positive. I think we obviously want to flush this out as quickly as possible. Lads will be tired, obviously, but that's the same for Hebburn. That's the same for every team in this league. And there's players who didn't play today with that game in mind. So no, we'll go into it, and obviously, as I said earlier, it's a big game. We wanted to go into these 2 games with aiming for maximum points. We haven't done that today, but we need to put today right on Monday, and you know, to come off the back of a 5-2 defeat, there's no better time to do it back at the Toll Bar.
Yeah, and just in terms of your team selection as well, a few players we saw back introduced on the bench today. Frankie Wheel and Jarrett Rivers, a couple of them. I'm sure they'll be probably potentially be involved on a Monday, which would be a positive to have them back as well.
Yeah, both be involved. You know, Guinness was on the bench as well. You know, just to make sure he can see through one of the games. But it'd be tough for Guinness to play both games in a 48-hour period, which is why I was involved. But no, it's in hindsight, was it the right decision? I don't know. But you know, the subs were obviously made with you know, today and with Monday in mind. And you know, all the lads involved today. I thought Hardy came on today and was decent. He's a positive. Harry, you know, Harry missed a few chances today, but he was a real threat today. I thought he had his best game today within competitive football for Whitby Town. I thought he was a real threat today. You know, DC's got himself a goal, so there was positives in there. Has played in two positions today and being as he is. So. No, there's positives there, but obviously on the back of a 5-2 defeat, it's hard to see that at the moment. But we need to rally back around, rally the lads up, make sure they recover, and get as positive as we possibly can on Monday, where it is an important game where we need to ideally get 3 points.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you.